All right, so where we headed next?
Oak Park. Nightmare project.
You never really know what you're going to walk into when you're going to a property for the very first time. And that last property was horrendous. From the smell initially walking in and just the overall condition, it was just shocking to know that someone actually lives there. But from an investment standpoint, it could potentially be a good deal depending on if the numbers work. So I'm assuming you're still getting used to the roadways in Chicago, right? You're definitely not from here.
I'm Bryan Segal, originally from Southern California. Now living here in Chicago, Illinois. I'm a real estate investor, house flipper. So this is the Nightmare Project. The backstory is we had one of our contractors that we had worked with before in the past, and he'd done plenty of jobs for us. So he was good and reliable, and then on this one he decided to jump off the cliff. And he walked with about 30 or so more of our money, 30,000. We paid him out on a draw, and then he never showed up and never finished the rest of the project. So we ended up having to get another contractor in here, paying out more money, holding the property for a lot longer than expected. And it just sucks. But you'll see when we go inside, it's moving along really good now.
So this is the property that Bryan dubbed as a nightmare property. Looks like it's gone through a lot, especially with changing up the contractors. But what he's done to it so far, it's absolutely gorgeous, modernized the layout a little bit, and it should sell pretty quick. What's the toughest part of flipping houses?
Having the right team to do it with you. Like that's like the major, because you're not going to do everything, right? Otherwise you won't be able to scale. So you got to have the right contractors, you got to have the right attorney, the right realtors. Your power team in itself has to be on point in order for this business to really flourish.
And this property was a perfect example of
not having the right person.
So that property was in really good shape. Unfortunately, they ran into some issues. And as Bryan was mentioning, it's all about the team. So you got to build a good resource team in order to do this. We're headed up to the north side to go take a look at another property. So we'll see you up there. So Bryan, I'm going to put you on the spot. Why do you do this?
Why do I do this?
Yeah, why do you flip houses?
Oh, it definitely provides a better quality of life for my family than being a police officer. But I really do enjoy it. I mean, it's kind of nice to take something old and make it something new, and just it pays in dividends, you know what I mean? So it pays really well.
So you team up, you work hand in hand with your wife, right? So what's her role and what is your role, if you were to summarize the two?
My role is to do as she says. She handles all the financing, right? So she handles all the money, like literally, and she comes up with all the designs, and then she handles whenever like contractors need payments, they always go through her because they can give me slack, but they'll respect her more, right? So she's in control of all those payments. I go and I'm all acquisition and management of the jobs at hand. So like what we've been doing is coming out and looking at the houses, analyzing the houses, putting them under contract, and then managing the actual contractors at work.
So is this what your day-to-day looks like? I mean, are you out running around looking at properties? Is that kind of consist of a majority of your day on a week-to-week basis?
Yeah, so if I have new houses to look at, I spend those time in the morning. I'll always spend the new house walkthroughs in the morning. And then I try to get, I run my houses in the afternoon. If I don't have any houses that I'm looking at, any new ones, then I get all this stuff done out in the morning, and I'm usually home by this time, by 1 o'clock. The second one in Elmhurst, yeah. So she put in the offer at 110. Bank came back and said, unfortunately, it's not going to work. We have an approved short at 180. They're listed right now at 190, so. House that's up there. I think it's really, really important to understand design trends and like color schemes and things like that, and what the market's actually asking for. So something that we always do, something that my mentor taught me, was if you want to know how to design your house, look at all the houses in your market, the other ones that are flipped, see how they did it, and just make it look better.
So how'd you come across this?
This was a wholesaler, and the house was about to go into auction. And so the guy that was helping the owners of this one out called us up and was like, hey, here's one. So we got it for a really good price, and then it was basically 85 or 90% done. But it was built in like 2006 or 7, and it's never had an occupancy certificate. So nobody's ever lived in it. Alone in this house, it's 50 to 60 grand just in crown molding. This is just gonna be nuts. This is a big project.
We're gonna do a little something called rapid fire. So I got 5 questions for you. Just spit out first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
Why'd you move to Chicago?
The market.
What do you like to eat?
Pizza.
Where was the last international trip that you took?
International would be Europe. We went to Rome.
What's the one thing that you love about the job that you do?
I get to work with my family every day. That's the best thing.
If you were to do something other than house flipping, what would it be?
Speaking.
Speaking.
Yeah.
What was one career that had the most impact on you before you got into house flipping?
LAPD, working for the police department.
So there you have it. A little bit more info on Bryan Segal, house flipper extraordinaire. Thanks, Bryan. Appreciate it.
Thanks, brother. So Maya and I were always looking for deals. Right now we're currently buying in Chicago, St. Louis, and California. Although our network is very strong across the country, if you have deals or you have houses you're looking to sell, by all means reach out to us. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. We're at the @ of @BryandMai. It's BRYANDMAI.
Well, that wraps up another Day in the Life series with Vlog Travel Real Estate. Thank you so much for tuning in, and special thanks to Bryan Segal for letting me tag along to view the current projects he has underway, as well as some potential projects that they may pursue in the future. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also like and comment, because we love the feedback we get from our viewers. And if you have a business or a project you'd like to highlight with our vlog, feel free to reach out. We'd love to be able to connect. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.